want to welcome you to this week's First Presbyterian Church Update. I hope that you're doing well. You know, I'm in a little bit different spot today, and I'm doing this because sometimes gaining a different perspective can do wonders. You know, trying to put ourselves in someone else's shoes to try to see how they may be experiencing things, that can help us in our relationships. But in our spiritual life, sometimes another perspective can be helpful. One of the easy ways to do that is your daily Bible reading. To read from a different translation than you normally do. My daily reading right now, I'm using the Today's English version, but I kind of, every now and then I'll pick up the Message or I'll pick up the NIV or something. So I just encourage you in your own personal reading of Scripture to look at various scriptures, translations, to see how they are similar or how they're different. Or if you're used to reading one on a regular basis, maybe pick up one for a little while that is different and read that. Well, let me share some announcements and things that are going on in the life of the church. First, let me just say something that I haven't touched on in a while, but it is still a reality and an important reality. And we all know we are still in the midst of this pandemic. I know people are tired of it, and we want normal. What will normal look like? I can't say that, but we are still very much in a pandemic. I was talking with Jeremy Simmons, the chaplain at the hospital yesterday, and their one floor is completely filled with COVID patients. So we need to be mindful of that in our prayers and all that. But let me go back and encourage you once again to wear your mask as you're entering and exiting the sanctuary. We don't have, we had taken away our mask mandate. We wore masks for a while. We required them, but then we did away with that. But with numbers increasing, we do want to encourage folks as you're coming and leaving to wear a mask. And those are those times when we are around people, when we're in closer quarters, and that's why it is so important. So again, let me just plant that seed and encourage you to do that. So we got some things going on in the life of the church, and we are trying to get back to some of our more normal routines, and we really think that masks can be a big part of that. This coming Sunday, which is January 30th, we're excited. We're got activities planned for our children and our youth. So first of all, our elementary age children. We'll be meeting in the fellowship hall at 4:30 on Sunday afternoon, and we'll have some games and different activities. And then our youth group will meet at 5:45. And so that'll be our junior and senior high youth. And they'll meet from 5:45 to 6:45. Now at 5:30, they're going to enjoy a dinner together for about 15 to 20 minutes. So if you've got elementary age children or if you got youth, let me encourage you to get them here for that. We will encourage their wearing masks. Angela and I and the adults who will be around them will be wearing our masks, trying to provide as safe an environment for them as possible. So elementary age kids at 4:30, a dinner at 5:30, and then youth at 5:45. I think that'll be fun. Let me remind you of the Bible study we're doing right now on Wednesdays. Bible study, remember Wednesdays Together Bible studies at 6:30 on Wednesday nights in the fellowship hall. And currently we're doing a study in conjunction with the sermon series that I'm in, which is First Century Message for 21st Century Christians. And it's an exploration of Revelation 2 and 3, the letters to the seven churches. This coming Wednesday, we're going to be looking at two different letters because of the Family Night Supper last night. Next week, we're going to be looking at both Pergamum, the letter to the church in Pergamum, and the letter to the church in Thyatira. So I hope that you'll come and join us for that. We've been having a good time with that. Let me encourage you also. This is a sort of maybe a silly little thing, but it's something that is kind of important to me, and I think is a good thing that we ought to adopt as churches and as Christians. But in the fountain pen world, when I started using fountain pens, I got introduced to NaCoWriMo. February is NaCoWriMo. That is International Correspondence Writing Month. And the idea is that during February, at least this is what I read in all the fountain pen blogs and all that I'm a part of, is that during February, identify one person each day to handwrite a note to. and then send that to them. So what I want to encourage you to do is for February, identify 28 people to write a note, a card or something. You can do it by hand, you can type it, I don't really care. But for during that month, 28 days, each day to mail a note or card to someone, let them know you're praying for them, that you're caring for them, if you haven't seen them in a while, that you miss them or whatnot. 28, you can do that. So let's all together do that. And that's a great way of maintaining connections and whatnot in the life of the church. Well, this coming Sunday in worship, we will be continuing this sermon series, Revelation 2 and 3, those letters to the churches. This week, we're looking at Revelation 18 to 29, and that's the letter to the church in Thyatira, and I hope that you'll read that in preparation for worship, and I hope that you will join us for worship, whether it's in person or whether it's online on one of our live streams. But I keep praying for you, and I hope that you know God's blessings and God's presence, and I look forward to seeing you soon.